Alamba, how do you feel about what's going on in Washington? The Commanders are absolutely rolling, and Jayden Daniels, I believe, set a record for completion percentage through 4 starts in the history of the NFL. And even with the Devontae stuff, the Commanders are one of those teams on the list with the cap space. Do you think he would be a piece that they would add, and then they would actually be legitimate Super Bowl contenders in Jayden Daniels' first year?
No, I think that, look, I marvel at what Jayden Daniels, his accuracy, throwing 19 incomplete passes all season in 4 games. I mean, he's doing things. People are comparing him to what Peyton Manning did in his MVP season. This isn't Peyton Manning as a rookie. This is remarkable. I mean, this kid has been unbelievable, and he's hiding all the deficiencies within the Washington football team. I mean, their offensive line is playing at a better level, and their defense, which we know statistically hasn't played well, but they've rallied. I think Dan Quinn's done a great job, and so has Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, Cliff's done a remarkable job of making this kid run an offense that fits him perfectly. You want to call it a college offense, that's fine, but it's an effective offense. Whatever it is, the receivers catch the ball. I think if you know Adam Peters and you know how much he respects and wants the draft, I think he wants to collect draft picks, not give draft picks away. So I think they will play with the roster. Look, they need more talent on defense to help this kid, but this kid's amazing. I mean, he's been unbelievable. From the first day, the first throw in the preseason game against the Jets on the deep ball on 3rd and 10, he's been like outstandingly accurate, and his reading and his understanding of the defense is really good. And I don't expect it to stop. I mean, he's not going to play at this level every week, but man, is he good. And I tell you what, he makes it very challenging to defend because his ability to move in the pocket, you got to be really careful. You can say you're going to spy him, but who's spying him? They better be fast.
Yeah, and also to your point about since the first throw of preseason he's been there, it feels like the team loves him too. And it's because of reasons like 3rd and 7, 4th quarter, less than 2 minutes left, knowing that somebody is going to spear you in the face and still throwing a dime to Terry McLaurin. It's like Cliff Kingsbury showing that to the entire offense. Dan Quinn's probably showing that to the entire team. Look at this young guy right here. Look at our quarterback. Look what he's willing to do for us to win. We haven't had that in a long time. Let's go ahead and get excited about everything. And then Cliff Kingsbury, before that game, 2 weeks ago, whenever the Cincinnati said it was a basic college offense, him walking around everybody talking shit before the game. And then last week against Arizona, it's like that team, backwards hat Dan Quinn, Jayden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. Wait a minute. The Washington Commanders. Now, the NFL was a little bit against him. I don't know if you saw McNichols.
Oh, yeah.
He scores a touchdown.
Son of a bitch.
And he does the bow and arrow.
Disgusting.
And they call a personal foul celebration penalty against McNichols. The NFL is trying to slow down the Commanders. They're trying to say, this team's too happy all of a sudden. They throw a flag on that. So, once again, obviously, reached out and asked, and they said they don't want to do the weaponry. Now, there has been an adjustment. Bow and arrows, slingshots, I think are going to be okay.
Okay. Really?
That's what our source says have been telling us. So firearms, I believe, guns are going to be problematic no matter how you do it, even if it's a finger gun or a double barrel gun. And if you even do a finger like this, they'll just say, well, that's one of those low profile cricket guns. So I think anything potential gun-like is going to get a penalty, but you get bow and arrow. Swords, I think, are okay.
Crossbow?
Crossbow's gun, I think.
Are these good? You know how
sword,
sheath in it.
I think swords are okay.
Yeah, we still don't know about muskets.
I love the sheath.
Forget the weaponry. Forget the weaponry. I mean, the fact that the Washington Commanders lead the league in the least amount of punts per play, if you would have said that to me back in August, I would have said there's no way, right? I mean, one of the ways you measure how well you're doing offensively and not going for it on 4th down is how many punts per game are you utilizing? And this team is at a record number. I mean, the Chargers are at 0.11. That's the worst in the league, whereas the Commanders are at 0.02. I mean, they are by far. They're better than San Francisco. They're better than New Orleans. They're much better than Kansas City. Got to give this kid a ton of credit.
Yeah, Tress Way is one of the best punters in the league, has been for a long time. 1 per game they're averaging. 4 punts this entire season. That's phenomenal stuff. And then there's a percentage of completions for Jayden Daniels over 85%. If he goes for 3, that'll be a record. J.J. Watt said that. I think Jared Goff is potentially in the same vein of completion percentages and everything like that. So there's a couple high-performing quarterbacks, and then there's a bunch that We don't know. Is it all kind of settling in? And what Jayden Daniels doing this year, is it similar to what Pete Rose did in 1968, the year of the pitcher?
Good question.
When all the pitchers were phenomenal. And the average batting average was like .251 or .230 or something like that. And Pete Rose batted .330. Something
MVP
like that.
only batted.
Yeah,
It wasn't the mound. I think the mound was higher that year. That's when they lowered the mound the next year. You remember? I think the mound was up a little bit higher, and that's why they were so effective. But Rose was.
This has been a year of defenses and a year of offenses not being amazing. And here's Jayden Daniels just having a historic positive. It's like similar to that.
Unbelievable.